Week 5, the most stacked week of games in the regular season. On Friday night, we have TCU at Arizona State. The Frogs just moved into the rankings after their win over SMU. And Arizona State stayed alive with a win over Baylor last week, so this is a game with some major implications in the Big 12. At noon on Saturday, the slate opens with USC at Illinois, as the Trojans look to keep the offense rolling and the Illini look to bounce back after the brutal loss last week. Lincoln Riley once again has one of the most explosive offenses in the country with Jordan Maeva throwing to Mekhi Lemon and Jacoby Lane. And you know they're smelling blood in the water after the Hoosiers just put up 63 points on the exact same team. At 3:30, the action really picks up. If you want to stay in the Big Ten, number 1 Ohio State heads to Seattle to take on the Washington Huskies. Jonah Coleman has impressed so far. Husky Stadium is famously loud in big games like this. And we'll see if the cross-country trip is detrimental to the Buckeyes once again. I already mentioned that last season Big Ten teams went 8-18 when traveling at least 2 time zones, and that of course includes the Buckeyes' loss during their trip to Oregon last year. However, Ohio State, the most talented team in the country, and are already battle-tested from their Week 1 win over Texas. Also at 3:30 is Indiana at Iowa, as the Hoosiers look to keep rolling as they put their number 11 team on the road to Iowa City. If you want some SEC football at 3:30, number 4 LSU heads to Oxford to take on number 13 Ole Miss. I think both of these teams are a bit overrated for their ranks, but this should be an evenly matched game. Whoever wins this one is in strong position early on in the SEC, and I like the Rebels simply due to LSU's lackluster levels of humility and preparation that have haunted them in recent seasons. I don't think much has changed this year for Brian Kelly's squad. Aside from their win over Clemson, which you can't say is impressive anymore. To finish off the 3:30 slate, we have Auburn at Texas A&M, as the Tigers look to bounce back after their loss to Oklahoma with yet another road test against the top 10 team. Auburn's schedule does not get easier after this, too, so this might not end up being that big of a win if Texas A&M gets the dub. Finally, at night, of course, there's number 3 Penn State hosting number 6 Oregon in the greatest show in college sports, the Whiteout. The winner is in prime position to head to Indianapolis for the Big Ten championship game and all but secures a playoff spot. At 7 p.m., there's some Big 12 action when Arizona takes on Iowa State. Both of these teams are undefeated, and a win for the Wildcats could create some chaos in the most chaotic conference. We haven't seen a ton of chaos in there quite yet. Maybe with Arizona State losing early on, that's about it. But I'm expecting it to start getting really exciting now as conference play heats up. In Atlanta, number 17 Alabama takes on number 5 Georgia, as this matchup once again should be a ton of fun. I already mentioned how this game doesn't have the same weight that it has had in recent seasons. Since that game, Williams has been very disappointing. Bama has lost to Vanderbilt, Tennessee, Oklahoma, Michigan, and Florida State. Times are tough for the Tide. This is just almost a must-win game for them. Looking at their schedule, after this they play number 18 Vandy, at number 20 Missouri, number 15 Tennessee, at South Carolina, number 4 LSU, and number 7 Oklahoma. They might be the underdogs in every single one of those games if they lose to Georgia this weekend. So this Bama team certainly has their work cut out for them. And it might be easy to pick Georgia in this one. I know I saw, just poking my head at the spreads last night, Penn State was favored by 3.5 against Oregon. Georgia was only favored by 3 against Alabama. That just blows my mind. But Georgia struggled in wins against Austin Peay and Tennessee before their bye last week, and the defense has looked very soft for a while now. If Bama can come in with a chip on their shoulder, they're certainly talented enough to come away with a win.